Do you want to increase your chances of winning new customers by 68%? Research from Gartner found that the key is strong, ideal customer profiles. I'll show you how to build these buyer personas easily in just minutes using an AI tool called Elsa by M1 Project. I have almost 2 decades of experience in marketing as a Fortune 500 brand manager and a vice president of marketing for a Google affiliated startup. I have an MBA from Kellogg and I taught college level marketing. I used to spend months on customer interviews, surveys, focus groups, and data analysis. Now I use AI to build buyer personas almost instantly. This allows me to jump straight into execution where I can start making money. I do this for business to business and consumer products. First, sign up for M1 Project for free like this. You can get pretty far with persona development without paying anything. Once you create an account, fill out some basic info about your business. The more details you provide, the better Elsa will be at understanding who exactly will buy your product. A lot of info will automatically populate, but you should edit it for clarity. Your business will show up like this after the onboarding process. Add multiple businesses for different clients or different product lines. Here I'm showing 8 businesses. This is just one of those businesses. Note details such as the website, your business model, business age and size, geography, etc. Also the description and the problems and needs of your customers. Once your business is set up, go to the ideal customer profile section on the left. You can see that I have a bunch of buyer personas already. Let's create a new ICP using the green button. Select the relevant business or client. I'll go with one of my businesses where I sell online marketing courses. The next step is to identify buyer segments by hitting the green button. The AI automatically produced 5 different segments with details. Each of these is an important business opportunity. Start with one that you think will be most likely to buy from you. If you don't like any of these, you can choose the last option to create your own. My first segment is experienced digital marketers. The second is freelancers. Third is students and recent graduates, and so on. Let's go with the first segment, experienced digital marketers, and hit next. Now go to persona. Here are some buyer personas to choose from. These are the decision makers for purchase decisions. These will differ depending on the segment that you choose. My first is entrepreneurs. Second is AI enthusiasts. Third is freelancers, and so on. I'll go with the third option, freelancers, and hit next. Your persona may take a few minutes to generate, but there is one section that sometimes takes up to a day to complete. That's the section called 20 plus places where your customers spend time. I'll demonstrate with this persona, Emily, who is someone trying to advance in her marketing career. She is one target persona for my marketing courses. The AI provides an astounding level of detail. So much of this detail is available in the free version of the product. At a high level, we have 4 sections. 1, key facts about your customer. 2, how your customer thinks. If you scroll down, you're going to see more options. 3, where to find your customers. And 4, how to sell to your customer. Let's start with the first section. Number 1, key facts about your customer. Click the buyer persona section near the top. This is where we get important details like job titles. We see marketing coordinators, digital marketing specialists, social media managers, and so on. There are also demographic and psychographic insights. Goals and objectives are key to selling customers on their desires. Here, I can see that the buyer values career advancement, staying up to date with marketing skills, and gaining credentials. I can cater my marketing messages to these goals. Note the tab called Proof Sources. You can see credible sources that the AI relied on, such as McKinsey and HubSpot. This is one advantage of using marketing-specific AI tools. They're trained on specialized and reliable data. Here, for example, is fact number 2 about buyers wanting practical skills. This is supported by research from numerous credible sources, including Nielsen, Duke University's Business School, the American Marketing Association, and so on. Now let's move to a different section to discover what the barriers to purchase are. My buyer persona feels overwhelmed and doesn't think that she has enough time to take my courses. She's also skeptical about course quality and has financial constraints. A good copywriter or salesperson will address all the key objections. Move to the second section, number 2, how your customer thinks. Click Jobs to be done. The main thing the buyer wants done is enhancing her practical skills to remain competitive. This means I should place less emphasis on the theory in my courses. That means in my ads, my emails, landing pages, etc., I should highlight practical implementation, not the theory that I learned in business school. You can see how these insights help shape your messaging strategy without needing a single interview, focus group, or survey, just one AI tool. The second job to be done is gaining credentials. Third is affordability and convenience, and so on. In the problems section, we see the customer struggles to keep up with trends in the market. She also has limited access to practical training and has difficulty demonstrating new skills to her employer. Providing a certificate can help with this. Can you see how this might affect your marketing? You can highlight key offerings that really matter to buyers and showcase solutions to real problems they're encountering. You don't have to guess what buyers care about. Next is pain points and frustrations. You may have heard the expression, sell a painkiller, not a vitamin. This means that people are eager to pay for something that quickly removes pain. Focusing on these pains helps you build rapport with buyers so they trust your product. That way, you don't seem selfish, like you're trying to just get their money. Buyers want to be heard and understood. Here you can see the pain points for my persona. Anxiety around changes in the marketing industry, frustration with impractical learning resources, the inability to showcase skills, social isolation, etc. The next section is called decision triggers. These are what make a customer look for a solution for a product like yours. Pay close attention because triggers are the beginning of the customer journey. Here is a depiction of the customer journey from McKinsey. Notice the star on the left that says trigger. That means that the entire customer journey begins with a trigger, some event that triggers someone to look for a product. Others, like Dr. Byron Sharp, might call these category entry points. Whatever you call them, you want to align your product, your brand, with those triggers. So people think of your product when that event happens. Here are the triggers for my business. These are the things that cause someone to start looking to buy marketing courses. Missing a promotion due to a skill gap, underperformance leading to job insecurity, feeling overwhelmed with existing training, urgent preparation for new responsibilities, and professional isolation tied to remote work. This information is very valuable and not easy to get from ordinary research methods. People don't always know what triggered them, and even if they did, they may not be honest about it. People often aren't willing to share their insecurities. Now, the third section, number 3, where to find your customers. Click the first part, best channels to reach customers. My top recommendation here is LinkedIn. Elsa tells me to publish articles on marketing strategies with real-world applications. It also tells me to share student success stories, something I don't do nearly enough. It also recommends Twitter, now X, Facebook, YouTube, etc., all with very specific recommendations, such as giving away free guides in the marketing subreddit. Now 20 plus places where customers spend time. One of my ideal customer profiles spends a lot of time on LinkedIn. Elsa gives me specific recommendations like creating a post around the top 5 marketing strategies for the year. It also suggests using the X or Twitter hashtag marketing tips and to collaborate with influencers. My persona also spends a lot of time on the subreddit for marketing, so I should spend a lot of time there as well. Another section called Preferred Communication Channels highlights the need for LinkedIn, email, Reddit, Slack groups, etc. Lots of my students follow me and write me on LinkedIn, so this validates what the AI is saying. You might have blind spots here, channels you are underutilizing. For example, if you're used to WhatsApp, you might not think to use LinkedIn messages or Slack groups. AI gives you a wider perspective than your own. The next section, essential tools. I really love this section because I'm a huge fan of partnering with software companies. They give you tremendous economies of scale instead of just going after customers individually and directly. Here we see that Canva, Buffer, Typeform, Hotjar, and Answer the Public are popular with this ICP. I could try doing a joint webinar with one of these companies, or I could look at their marketing for inspiration, given that they're targeting the same people as I am. There are lots of ways to use this section. Here is where I find information sources that my buyer trusts. The American Marketing Association, Marketing Profs, and HubSpot are high on the list. I haven't spent much time on Marketing Profs in recent years. The AI suggests that I contribute a guest article or partner with them on a webinar. I can then introduce my courses to their audiences with exclusive discounts. That's a pretty straightforward way to apply AI insights with immediate return on investment. The last major section for the ideal customer profile is number 4, how to sell to your customer. In the alternative solutions section, I see my competitors and substitute solutions. In this case, these are traditional universities, industry publications, in-person workshops, etc. In my experience, companies tend to have an overly narrow sense of who their competitors are. They also tend to downplay competitors that customers actually take quite seriously. AI mitigates your bias by showing you who your real competition is. The next section is what customers know. These are approaches or methods that customers already explored and considered. In my cases, the known solutions are an MBA, certifications from Google and HubSpot, books, and so on. If you're selling software, your persona may consider using Excel, building software internally, or going with a direct competitor. My persona attempted the following solutions: enrolling in low-cost marketing courses, attending webinars, engaging in forums. These solutions lack depth and practical application and were often outdated. They also had limited interaction with an expert like myself. These drawbacks are why someone might buy from me. Highlighting these can increase my conversion rates. If you scroll down, Elsa provides some non-mainstream solutions. For example, to position my courses as a practical MBA alternative. And this is exactly what I'm doing with my B2B marketing course. It says to emphasize industry insider knowledge. I do this with my experience working for a Fortune 500 company and for startups in Silicon Valley. Elsa also suggests creating an exclusive networking opportunity. This is something I can do in the future. You could use these ideas to build a long-term marketing plan. Last is a very important section on buying criteria. This is where we find out exactly what the buying persona is looking for. If you don't address these, you might get completely eliminated from consideration before they even contact you. The number one buying criterion for me is my expertise and reputation as a marketing instructor. That is why I often put my credentials near the beginning of videos. This may seem counterintuitive. In marketing, we generally focus on the customers and their problems. We think they don't want to hear about our product and company until later. But here we have an AI-driven insights showing us that my customers care most about my expertise. That's why I need to establish credibility before I provide advice. A lot of AI insights are not intuitive. They go beyond our limited biases. Here's another example. You might think targeting retired people is a waste of money, but the AI could discover that elderly people have a lot of disposable income that they spend on gifts for their children. In this case, they are excellent targets for your ads. Elsa goes on to list other buying criteria, such as practical training, depth of content, and a certificate. The importance of certificates is something I overlooked. You can see that AI basically becomes your marketing partner, your co-pilot. It corrects your bias and steers you in the right direction. It gives you a wider perspective than you alone are capable of. Having been marketing for almost 2 decades now, I believe a lot of success comes down to getting over yourself. AI helps you do that, to be more objective. Now we have a very detailed understanding of our ideal customer profiles. How do you apply these insights? Well, let's say you're in B2B and you want to do cold email or direct message outreach. You can use these details to find your buyers using LinkedIn Sales Navigator. In your messages, include the major pain points. So instead of just selling your product, you show you understand their pain and can fix it. You invite the prospect into a conversation that they care about. Here's an example of an empathetic cold email I sent, along with a quick reply that I got. Almost immediately, I had a meeting with the executive team for a company with $30 million in venture capital. I relate it to the struggles of getting paying customers, instead of just talking about how I sell marketing and trying to push them aggressively into a 15-minute call. I also established my credibility, which is something the AI told me to do. You might saturate certain channels. For example, LinkedIn limits the number of messages. So go to 20 plus places where your ICP spends time. You'll find subreddits, Slack communities, social media groups, and so on. That's where you find your next customers. That's where you, your sales team, and your assistant can hang out. That's where you can run ads and talk to people. That's where you can form partnerships with admins and other influencers. Another application is Google Ads. Use pain points, frustrations, goals, and triggers to write headlines and descriptions that resonate with your audience.